Hi everyone, and welcome to Office Hours Live. So this is our weekly live show directly into the new Zenler Facebook group. And as always, some of the team are normally here. So today it's me and David. Hi David, you all right?
Hi Kevin, all great, thank you.
So there's always a variety of us here, but we keep to a very similar format for Office Hours, and we run it live because we want you to come on, we want you to ask your questions, and we want you to see what's been happening over the last week or so. Now, this only streams directly into the Facebook group, so if you're watching this right now, that's where you are. We run alternately, so every week we either run at 10 a.m. we're now GMT, or we run at 5 p.m. GMT, because we do have a global audience. And by having the two time slots, we pretty much cover within a 2-week period most people at a reasonable hour. So you haven't got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning to come on to one of the lives of Office Hours. So I'm going to start off as we always start off, and David's going to take this slot this week because Rakesh is not here. So we, over the course of a week, we do a lot of stuff on the Zenler platform. Sometimes we release new features, sometimes we add to existing features. We're always getting involved in, updating, maintaining and fixing any potential issues to keep the system running smoothly. We record all of this data publicly for you. That's in the changelog, and you'll find that in the Facebook group. But for the last week or so, whatever's happened, we tend to just do a slot here that highlights the most relevant things. So we cut through all of the technical stuff and show you what you need to know. So David, if you want to take the changelog this week, please, that would be brilliant.
That's great. Thank you, Kevin. Right. So we've got a one update to sort of share with you today, and that is this one here. So what we have is in the changelog, which is bit.ly changelog, I've put that into the chat. We have a new Zapier trigger for funnel subscriptions. So now you can actually take from Zenler, you can actually take the funnel subscription registration and you can send it into Zapier to something like Gmail. And in fact, if you go onto our YouTube channel, you're going to see that we have that actually built into here. So you can see down here, integrate funnel subscriptions. So if you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Zenler, you're going to find a video there showing you exactly how to use it with Zapier. So from our Zenler Zap to Zapier there and into Gmail. And so that's a brand new feature that we've got in there. Definitely check out the changelog because there is stuff going on. But as Kevin mentioned, a lot of this might not mean anything to you because it's all like just fixes gone in and they're checking things over. But that's our main update for this week. Back to you, Kevin.
Perfect. Thank you very much. The team here at Zenler are absolutely 100% committed to giving you all of the training resources you need to make your Zenler site work the most effective way that you want it to work for your business. By doing this, we've created a number of resources for you. So there's 3 main areas that you need to look at. Now, whilst I go through this, if you are live with us right now, remember to put your hashtag in, hashtag live, and where you're watching from. Also put in any questions that you've got. So if something, even if you're brand new to us and you think it's a silly question, just put it in there because it helps us develop these resources. Because if lots of people are looking and asking these questions, we're obviously not making it accessible enough for you. So we need to just be mindful of that. So please do ask any questions you've got. Even if you think it's a silly question, that's not a problem for us whatsoever. And we'll come to all questions at the end of a bit that we go through. So the first place, we've got 3 areas online that we've put together for you that are useful resources. Now, they're all free of charge, so we don't charge for any of this information or any of this training. The first place is where you are right now, which is you are in the Facebook group. So you'll see lots of information flowing through the feed here. We've got a very active community, and the stuff people share here and support each other is absolutely brilliant. But there's some practical places you can go to. So when you go along at the top of the group, you'll see firstly the announcement tab. The announcements are being cleaned up at the moment. So when you go on there, you'll see the stuff that we deem is important that you need to take notice of. So often we'll do a changelog where we'll say, well, this is a new feature. We might put in David will create a video just showing you what that is, but we'll also post it on Facebook and mark it as an announcement for you. So if you need to just scroll through and look for the new features, that's where you'll find it. There are Hours Wednesdays in there. We've got the change log in there. We've got the feature requests in there somewhere. But I'm cleaning this up at the moment, so you'll see a lot less posts you have to scroll through to get to the good stuff and the stuff that's in date. So that's the first place. The second place is to go to the More tab, go to events, and you'll see all of the upcoming events that we've got available for you. These are live events. These are not pre-recorded or anything like that. So you'll see office hours in there. You'll see the Zenler platform overview. So there's a live event there that David's running. We've got more office hours. We've got Zen chat in there for the next one. And you can register if you need to, or just click that you're going if it's on Facebook, and it will send you a reminder an hour before the event's going to start through Facebook, just to say, look, remember this event is going to go live. Don't miss it, because it's so frustrating when you intend to go somewhere and you forget when it was, where it was, or anything like that. So just click you're going. There's no 100% commitment to it. It just makes your life easier. So that's Facebook. The next place we've got for you, which holds all of our training, is the tutorial site. Now, on the homepage, we've really streamlined this down for you, so you can find what you need really, really quickly. We've added a resource button at the top, so you can see now that you can just hop to the change log. You can hop to, what have we got in there? PR and media. We've got Ask Zenlers there, and Facebook events. So if you're just on here and you want to have a look around, just click one of those. It will take you directly to where that information is. As you scroll down on here, you'll see we've got 3 or 4 different blocks there that go into different boot camps, different trainings, all the marketing aspects. So if you're looking for something in particular and you go, oh, actually, I've got some time, I want to learn a bit about marketing, click on the orange one, go and see what you like in there and get going with it. All of the stuff on this site is pre-recorded, it's pre-done. The big masterclass bundle is in there, so that's everything Zenler with a nice little search function. So if you're looking to do a lead magnet, you've never done one before, click on that, type at the top lead magnet, and it will come up with everything that you need to know about lead magnets, and you can just hop to the bits that you need. Loads of information in there. Work it as you need to work it, because you will get overwhelmed if you try and do everything at once, because there's a lot of information. So think about it like a library of resource. You don't go into a library and start at A and work all your way through the books. What you do is you find the section that you want, and then you pick the bit within that section that really interests you. So treat it in the same manner. The only caveat on that is the quick start guide. So if you're new, and you would have been emailed this as well, the quick start guide gets your account set up for you. And it's really, really important that when you start with New Zenler, either on a free account or a paid account, it doesn't really matter. You go through that and you get a really good base level understanding of how New Zenler works, and also setting up things that you only need to do once. So how do you set payment processes up? How do you set your branding up? That type of thing. It will go through integrations, and there's a lovely little checklist there as well. That will save you hours in the future. So do make sure that you get involved with that. There's multiple ways we send that to you because it is that important. The last place you need to go is over to our YouTube channel. So this is youtube.com/c/Zenler. We're up to 2.4K in subscribers, so we need more. We need to get up to 2.5. That would be awesome. So when you come onto here, just click subscribe, click notify. There are things in the YouTube channel that don't go anywhere else. So it's a really important place to be as well. Now, we do that for a specific reason, because sometimes we don't want to overload the tutorial site. We want to keep things in their right places. And things that we've got here, like the pro user interviews, they don't really have a place in the tutorial site. This is just looking at a Zenler user, how they're currently using their site, but it's still of interest to people using New Zenler. We've got replays of a day with Zenler. Again, not really appropriate for the tutorial learning site, but it is highly appropriate to have it on YouTube, so you can go back through some of that information as you need to. So have a look through now. All of this is free for you. We don't charge you for access to any of this. Even the tutorial site that has a lot of information in and a lot of courses in, we don't charge you for this, because our one goal is to support you in being successful in how you are using Zenler for your online business. And we can only do that if you understand not only the platform, but some of the peripheral things around being online, which is why all of that information is there for you. Now, I'm just going to see if anybody is here and live with us right now before I move on to the next section. There normally is someone. Let me just see if I can find you all. Who do we have? Who do we have? Nobody yet. Oh, yes, we do. Sorry. Tracy's here from Australia. Hi, Tracy. Jim's here from Newcastle. So good morning to you both. Okay, let's move on to the next section. So there's a lot of information I've just gone through there, so you can digest that. There's links being put into the chat as well. The next section is our feature focus section. Now, if you've been watching this recently and you've been on office hours, this is a really nice little introduction to something on Zenler you may not have come across, you may not have used yet. It's not a critical part of the system, but it's something that maybe you've not yet delved into. And this is why I really like this section, because sometimes you just get that aha moment of, this is brilliant. Why didn't I know about this? I've not used that, or I've looked at it and didn't touch it. So feature focus, that's what it's all about. It's a quick look at something in the system that may or may not benefit you and what you're trying to achieve. So David, back over to you for this week's feature focus, please.
Thank you, Kevin. Brilliant. Okay, so feature focus this week, we're going to look at logged in, logged out users and the information that's sort of supplied to them. So if you're a logged in user like I am now, you can see I've got this homepage. This homepage is set to one homepage. But if we are a logged in user, we can give people different content. So what I'm going to do, I'm logged in here. You can see I'm logged in as a student, by the way, in incognito mode. All right, not in the site. So in incognito. And what you've got here is the admin section of this site. And you can see I've set up a new page here. It's called demo for logged in page users. So if you just view this page by previewing, you can see it's a different page. So a completely different page to this page. So what we want to do is we want to use this page and we want to use it for people that are logged in. So people that have bought a course from you, people that have registered on your site. Okay, so people could register for free on your site and they can see different content as well as your students that have actually enrolled in any of your courses or memberships. So it's really easy to do this. You can set up your unique content for that particular page. You can see our original homepage is here. And if I just preview that, you're going to see this will be the same for logged in, logged out users. So we're now going to change it so that it's different for our viewers. So if we go into homepage here, you have this logged in. So down here, you can select, you can even select a course demo page. You know, you can select one of the pages from that. You can also go in here and choose the page. So I'm going to change it to this home logged in page. Now, if I click save to this, it's now going to replace this. So as a logged in user, it's going to replace that page. So here's a page, we're logged in, just going to refresh it now, and you're going to see it's completely different page. And if I logged out of this, you're going to see that it's going to go back to the normal page. So this is a really good way to actually show different content to your users. Now, also something else that was asked was communities. So inside communities, something that was asked was how does communities work? How can you set a community up inside there so that it shows for logged in users or anyone registered on the site, or again in a course, you can open that up as a community to let people have access to that community. We call it an open community. However, you can also set up a community tied to a particular course as well. So I'm going to quickly flick into the settings here for this open community, so it's accessible to anybody. And you can see in here, I've got it here. What's it say? Community for, and then it says site. So this is anyone registered or have a course and bought a course on your site. They're registered as a student. They'll have access to this open community. And all I need to do is set it up in here. It's really quick and easy. Publish the community. And now that community will be available for logged in users of the site. So I'm just going to log myself back in on here. And I'll show you in a second. I'm just logging in. Okay, so now when I log in, you can see I've got a new menu item. So this student is not in any courses. Let me go to the student down here. And you can see in this student, if I go to edit that student, you're going to see under courses, not enrolled in any courses. So that community is open community. So anyone registered, or if they're a student, they'll get access. And you can see that open community there. Okay. So that's that open community there. They can write things and people can chat amongst themselves. But also we can set up a community tied to a course. So I'm going to just enroll myself in a course. So I'm going to the student here and I'm going to go to courses, and I'm just going to enroll myself in this quick demo course so that you can see that it's going to work differently for this. So I'm enrolled in that course now. I'm going to go to communities. I'm going to set up a brand new community. So I'm going to call this course community. So only people that are in this course will have access to it. So down here, I'm going to choose that community inside there, and we're going to go private for courses only. Okay, now, of course, you can choose a cover picture for this. If you've got a picture, you can put a picture in there. I'm going to use the same picture as I used before. And you can also upload an icon as well in there. So now I've set this up and I click add. Okay, so now this community will be set up for that course. So for that demo course there. So if I now jump into here and I refresh it, I'm going to get two options in here, because I'm going to get the open community and I'm going to get the course community as well inside here, because I'm actually tied up in that. So that is how communities work inside there. So you can tie a community to be for everybody, and you can also have a community for just the courses that you select as well. And also how you can set up a logged in and a logged out page for people coming into your site. So I think that's quite a lot there. I've covered two things, Kevin, but back over to you.
Brilliant. Thanks, David. And I've got to say, out of a lot of the features that New Zenler has, and take the course side out of it, the logged in, logged out pages are probably, from a sales point of view, the most valuable thing that you will experience. So when you have a logged out page, i.e. they're not registered to you in any way, you can make it very much orientated towards getting them involved. Once they're involved, obviously you don't want to get them involved again like a normal sales page. You can do special offers. You can share information that you want to direct them to. You might do a course of the month type of situation for people registered already on your site. There's lots of opportunity there for you to have it as a very fluid page where every month maybe you change bits in it to keep them coming back. And that works really well because they already know you. They've already got involved with you at some point. Whatever point that may be, they may come into a free module, they might just have signed up, you might have turned that bit off, they might have come through a funnel of some description or whatever, and it's a really much more gentle way of getting people involved. It's also something you could do special offers for registered members only, so externally nobody can see it, but for people that are already involved with you, you could have a special offer running, maybe put a coupon link in there that gives them a discount, that type of thing. So there's a whole array of things you can do to build your business from using just that very simple feature of having, here's my logged out users, i.e. people that don't know us, not registered with us, not involved with us, and here's extra stuff once you get to know us to really deepen and strengthen that business relationship. So just think about how that might work for you. You could even do an early bird for pre-registered members if you're launching a new membership, for example. That could be really good. So yeah, think about how that might work. But yeah, again, another good look at some of the features that we've got on New Zenler that are probably not used effectively. I know the community side of things, people are waiting for the upgrade, which is due. They are working on that, but it still works really well and it keeps them within your area where they're not distracted. So try and think about the community side of how that might work for what you do. So yeah, really good one, David. Thank you for that this week. Let's head on to questions and see if we do have any questions. I think there's one question in from Jim. I'll let you answer this, David. So Jim's asking, is there a way to back up their sites on New Zenler?
No, Jim, you don't have to worry about that. We do extensive backups, tape, and there's extra cloud backups and things as well. So you don't have to worry about your backups. If you need to to reinstall anything, you shouldn't have to, because the team are always monitoring the sites. But the backups are done on the system. There's no way to back the site up yourself. We don't give you things like FTP access or anything like that to take copies of the database or your actual files themselves, because it's all Zenlers. So we keep backups of everything. And I know Rakesh is on, so he might want to add into that as well. Yeah, backups, don't worry about it. We back everything up, and we can restore stuff if it goes drastically wrong, which it never does.
Yeah. And just to add on to that, if you've been on to any of the trainings that David and I have done, we will always tell you to keep your assets elsewhere, to have duplicates. So in a Dropbox folder or whatever. So if you create a course, keep it somewhere like Dropbox or OneDrive or wherever you need to keep it. Then you upload it. You've got two places where you've got it, just in case one fails. That's just a sensible way of operating with any digital asset anyway, no matter whether it's in Zenler or anywhere else.
Yeah, I can demo that if you like. I can demo that as well, Kevin. I've got some files. Just this is kind of how I do things in here. See here, I've got a day with Zenler. So all my day with Zenler files, they go in dated folders, and then all of my assets that are in there go in there, and any text that's supplied with it as well. And I've always got a copy of all of the courses that we do on the platform, and obviously my private courses as well. So always keep backups, both cloud and backups on external drives.
Yeah, and that just makes sense to do that, because no system in the world is 100% ever guaranteed. It's just absolutely impossible for it to be that way. We've seen this via Facebook recently. Facebook went down for a period of time. Nobody expected that to happen, but it did. Fortunately, nobody lost any data, but they could have done. So even the biggest companies in the world have issues at some point, possibly. So just keeping yourself something somewhere else is always a very good way of operating. And once you start getting in the habit of it, it's easy. It's not even like a chore. It's just the way that you do things. No, yeah, so Jim's just saying he's never had any problems, but he's just asking. So that's cool. Okay, Tracy's got a question. On the blog homepage, can we change how this displays the posts to be 3 posts wide?
Tracy, no, not. I know Tracy's a big fan of my ninja tricks. She's in there a lot doing these things. You can do it using CSS, but the set blocks for those are how they are. So no, in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, all of these things are being developed, and at some point in the future that will probably be quite possible. I have heard that the page editor is going to be at some point potentially coming into the blogging area, in which case I can take you through content design much more effectively on there without having to add bits of wizardry in. So it is an interesting one, and it is something that needs to be developed in the future. That's not on the immediate roadmap to have that done, as far as I'm aware. So, but at some point it will. I think for now, with the blogging area, focus a lot on putting just good quality content in there, decent one call to action to get them to do something, go through a funnel, sign up to a list, get a free course, whatever it is, and just concentrate on actually building up your online presence through that area, because that's where the majority of it's going to be built up from, as it would on any website. So hopefully not the answer that you want, but hopefully an answer that helps.
Can I just chime in quickly there on that one as well? I mean, Tracy, it depends. I mean, at the moment, remember, like in the blog, in the main blog page, you've got all these posts. But if you did decide to delete out that dynamic block, you could then manually design your blog posts in there, and you could just link through to the blog article. So that's one way that you could do it in a manual manner. Other than that, you could use CSS to do it.
Cool. Okay, Luke. We've got no more questions at the moment, so I'm just going to put a quick reminder out to people. And I've noticed in the Facebook group this week, that this is a prudent reminder. This is one that needs to be pointed out, and I do this every week, but it is important that we remember this. We have a really fantastic Facebook group. The community here are incredibly supportive, and they're very good at coming up with ideas, pointing you in the right direction for things. It really is not an area for technical support. And I know people are frustrated. They're putting a ticket in and then they're coming in the group saying, I've waited 3 hours. Can somebody help me on support? It won't matter because support do not monitor the Facebook group. Okay. There is only one process to get technical support. So if something is going wrong with your site, something isn't working as you should, you've gone through the tutorial site, you've looked through the tutorials, and it's still not doing what you need it to do. There's a number of reasons this can be. It could be a localized issue. It could be a slightly wider issue. We won't know until you put that ticket in. So the process is as follows. So you take a video if you can, use a Loom or whatever you need to use to show what the issue is. If we have to try and replicate it by you writing it down, that will take longer or maybe even be impossible for the team to do if it's an issue on your own PC or your own network. So a video recording sent into the support team is the fastest way to get a response. So we do this by email. So support@newzenler.com. So put an email in, you'll get a ticket back within a minute or two to say they've received it. You then go in the queue for support. Okay. Now, depending on the complexity of your issue, depends on really how long that will take. Because if it is a deep-rooted technical problem going on, then the next team needs to get involved and find out why. If it's a user error, which it could be and often is, we can deal with that quite quickly and point you to the right direction of where you need to solve it. If it's an account error, something's not quite right, and they can go in and fix it because maybe you've done something that's not quite right. That can be dealt with quite quickly. But the Facebook group, you will not get an answer from the technical support team at New Zenler if you go into the Facebook group asking for that. Even if you try and remind us and say, I've put a ticket in 4 hours ago, not had a response, they're still not monitoring it. So you will get one of the teams say, really sorry about that. You need to be patient. That's pretty much the only response you'll get because we're not in that whole period of helping people in that way. The only way you can get it is via email, that type of support. So please do remember that. The team work absolutely relentlessly in making sure that your problems are solved as quickly as possible. So I know it's frustrating. It's always frustrating when you've got a course you want to launch or something, and it's always the time it goes wrong. Yeah, we get it. David and I both have external course businesses, so we know how you feel. And believe me when I say the team want to get your problems solved as quickly as possible. So they're not ignoring it. They're not sitting on it. Providing you get that email back saying this is your ticket number, it's in the queue, it will be dealt with. So sorry, I said support at New Zenler, it's support@zenler.com. So yeah, Tracy's just saying support was great over the weekend, responded immediately, fixed in 3 days. And a lot of our long-term members, if you see how they talk about the support from New Zenler, you'll hear it day in, day out, as to how phenomenally good they are in doing what they do. So sometimes if you're new, you might be used to live chat response. We don't offer that right now, which is very immediate. It's just getting used to how the support system here works. So please bear that in mind. Okay, I don't have any more questions coming. So on that basis, I think I'm going to start to wrap up for this week. We've just hit past the half-an-hour mark. So that's roughly what we aim for each week. So David, do you have anything else for this week, please?
Yeah, we have a live running this Sunday. Is 9 a.m. BST time. That's 8 p.m. AED time. So AEDT time. So the Zenler platform overview. So this is for kind of our Australian friends and that area, because we've been running lots of afternoon sections BST, but we're running at 9 a.m. so it works for evening time in the Southern Hemisphere. So lots of people on this already. We're starting from scratch. So we're basically going through all of the lives that we did for the other time slot, we're going to go through them again. So it's going to be a whole site build. So it's going to be building your site. So if you guys want to follow along, this is the time to do it. Try and keep your Sundays free at this time. It will not change. And it means that's your little calendar event of achieving things. So you can work with me. You know, you can watch the workshop, and afterwards you can spend that week doing those things. Do the next one and we build on it. So we build your whole site, your whole course. We talk about marketing funnels. We talk about lots of things, little golden nuggets of information along the way. You're going to love it. So we're going to go through that. We're going to build on what I've already done in the other live sessions. So it's all getting better and better as we go through these workshops. So that's it for me, Kevin.
Perfect. I just want to put a reminder out about Alice's events. So Alice is a reasonably new member to the team, and she's come in with a real focus on getting people into New Zenler, but also helping new members in New Zenler. Now, she does this in two ways. So firstly, we run a weekly webinar now. So these are for people that maybe haven't experienced New Zenler, don't really know what it is, probably don't have an account. So if you're a partner or you're a current user and you want to invite someone into New Zenler and they're like, well, how does this work? What features do they have? You know, is it right for what I'm doing? The webinar that we run on it is a Wednesday, isn't it? Is it a Wednesday or a Thursday? Thursday. So, sorry, Thursday. Is the one you need to direct them to. So there'll be links sent out for those as well, so you'll be able to get to find those. So they're free to attend, but it is really a walkthrough with Alice, and they're all live. So they're not pre-recorded webinars where you can't ask any questions or anything like that. So they're all live webinars, and they run every single week on a Thursday, where people that don't know New Zenler, don't understand the features that we've got, can go in and just get a really good tour of how this system works for what they might be looking to do. So if you want to invite people along, you're more than welcome to do that. The other thing that Alice does is she's now started the onboarding sessions. So if you're a pro or premium user, you're new, maybe you've had a dormant account, but you're paying for it, and you know you haven't really used it very much because you don't know where to start, then the onboarding sessions are really, really good. So she's taking 2 or 3 people in on each onboarding session each week. They're running on a Tuesday. So if you feel you qualify for that, then do look out for it. Now, these are new sessions. So as partners or people inviting people into New Zenler, they now get this whole sequence of events going on. So they'll come into the webinar, they'll understand, they'll go, yeah, okay, I'm interested. As soon as they purchase New Zenler, so this isn't for free accounts, but pro and premium accounts, we'll take them through an onboarding session. So this will be a navigation round, right? You're logged in now. This is your dashboard. This is how this works. This is what you need to look at. This is where you can find your quick start guide, all of that type of stuff to really get them going in the most positive way possible. And Alice is running those. So do look out for both of those. As I say, if you're a pro premium user and you're new, as in we had someone on last week that it was their first week, they would qualify for this. If you've had an account with us for 2 years as a pro user, paid for it and never done anything with it, not even barely logged in, you would count for this because we can help you look at the new stuff that's gone on. So please do reach out to the team and we will get you involved with those. And that's a really phenomenal thing that Alice is doing there. From me, I've just got the usual things coming up. So we've got office hours next week at 5 p.m. GMT, we're off of British summertime now. That happened the weekend. We're back on GMT, so just make sure that hours difference, if you're in a different country, just record that because it will make a difference to you. So back at 5 p.m. it's in the events tab. We've got Zen Chat happening towards the end of the month. The last few that we've done have been phenomenally good. Feedback has been brilliant. So I'm really excited to really develop that. So if you are a user of New Zenler and you want to get to know more New Zenler users, look for support, really actually not face to face, but camera to camera, get to know people in our community rather than just typing away to them. This is your opportunity to do it. So that's in the events tab already. Go and register for it. There are limited places. The people that have already been will get priority because they're the ones that have shown up already. So do make sure that you get in. And when you do register, it's really important you either cancel it or you turn up. because that could potentially take a place away from somebody else. So that's from me. What else have we got here? Let me just see. Tracy, you missed the changelog, I'm afraid. There was only one thing about Zapier, but you can see that there. David's put lots of links in. Pauline saying Sundays are for playing hockey. So Saturdays, for that matter, we'll check out replays when I can. Thanks for today. Informative as always. I'm with you on that, Pauline. I do martial arts on a Sunday morning, so you won't unfortunately see me there. Reach out to Alice. So yeah, Alice, just send her a message or something. Yeah, that's all the questions come in. So good to see you all here this week. I have nothing else. I think I've covered pretty much everything. So remember, 5 p.m. GMT for next week's Office Hours Live. In the meantime, enjoy using the system. Look out on all of those resources that I've mentioned earlier and get involved. And if you want to do the workshop, that's coming up. So lots of things for you to get involved in. If you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs and you want to learn a little bit more about how Zenler can work for your business, we have all these resources for you. So we'll see you next week. Have fun in the group and catch you then. Thanks very much, everyone.
Bye.